you guys? So today is my birthday. Probably not my birthday when this video goes up, but today when I'm filming is my birthday, and I decided to do my makeup and just talk to you guys a little bit about how I feel being 26 years old. Okay, I would just like to say that first, yes, this is a filter. Second, I am now 29 years old when I am recording, when I'm editing this video. And I just found this footage on like a computer of mine, and or like not a computer, but on like some old videos and old storage or whatever. And I was like, I should edit this video and see what it's about. I did not know that this was on my 26th birthday, and I am now 29 years old. So let's see what I feel about being 26. Can I just say that, like, I never thought this day would come. I am genuinely shocked that I'm like close to 30 and I don't like it. Well, now we're 29, and actually we're gonna be 30 in October, which, you know, I've made my peace about it. It is what it is. Maybe my 30s will be better than my 20s. Here's hoping. So there's that. So yeah, today is October 4th, which is my birthday. And I went and bought some lashes yesterday so I could try these. These are Classic by Kiss Lash Couture. I have a few things that I wanted to do today. I want to try to sell some clothes to maybe get a little extra money, and then I want to go to the mall for a little bit and maybe find like a purse or a bag or something. Like I said, I am 26 today, and I don't know how I feel about it. I've been a little down about my birthday, just because a year ago on my birthday things were a lot different, and not that they were amazing, but they were definitely different. And this year has been interesting, to say the least. I've just been reflecting on my year a lot. Not like 2021, but like my year of being 25, I guess. If I'm being honest, I don't have a bad life. Like, I actually need to work on being more grateful for the things that I have and the opportunities that I have and all the good things that have come to me. Sometimes it's just not the easiest thing to do, especially when what you thought your life was going to be, and then you kind of realize what it is. Sometimes it's hard. I don't know what it is. I woke up on Saturday, and for some reason I was just in a mood, and I was like reflecting on my life and where I'm at in my life and what my life is compared to what I thought it would be when I was younger, when I thought about being 26 years old. Like, it's very different. Okay, so I just want to interject here and say that one, during this time I was going through a breakup with someone I ended up getting back with, and then broke up. and then back with and broke up, all that. So that's what I was going through at this time. And I also, just like my previous birthday, every birthday I go through this because I tend to look at my life and see everything that I don't have. That was always the biggest deal to me, which is being married and having kids. That's what I always wanted ever since I was a little girl. And it's something I still want, but it's something that I'm not desperate for the way that I was, especially in this video. I have learned a lot over the years, and one thing that I can say is that I definitely had that as like my absolute 100% goal. That's all I wanted out of life, was just to be married and to be a mom. And I know that to some people that probably sounds nuts, but it's just something that I always wanted ever since I was little. And so every birthday I would reflect on my life and be like, I'm still not married. I still don't have kids. And then I was going through a breakup, and it was really bad. I was so depressed because I love this guy. He left me and I couldn't get over him. And so, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just wanted to give a little bit of context on why I keep saying that my life is not how I thought it would be. Which I don't think anybody's life really ends up being the way that they ever thought that it would be, which is probably a good thing, you know? But I just wanted to say, like, that's what was getting me so down, and that's why I was feeling that way. And sometimes when we think that life isn't what it ought to be, sometimes it can be hard, and it's not like you're not grateful. It's just that I think we can all be realistic and say that when we were kids, if we looked into the future and saw what our life was going to be, I don't think our hopes would have been as high, and I think that we might have been disappointed. I know that is a very Debbie Downer way of looking at things, but it's true for me. Honestly, when I was a little kid, I used to think of some of the craziest things. And I had like the biggest expectations for my life. I really thought that I was gonna be Selena at 10 years old. Wasn't gonna go to high school because I was gonna be too busy traveling. I really was out here thinking stuff like that. And of course, life it doesn't turn out that way. Life doesn't always turn out the way that we hope that it would or that we want it to. And it sucks. It really sucks, but I am just trying to change my thinking around about this whole thing, because it's ruining my day and it's ruining my week. I literally have been down and depressed since Saturday. Okay, here's the other thing. I feel like I'm going to be interjecting in this video a lot just because it makes me so sad. I just want to hug myself because that poor thing, she's going through so much. I really dealt harshly with comparison. Not saying that I don't still sometimes, because I definitely do. but the comparison was eating me alive back then. I would just compare myself to everybody. I'd gone to beauty school. I was already in graphic design school, I think. I was like in kind of a dead end job. Just still am, if I'm being honest. But like I've made peace about it. But like I just felt like I had done so much yet didn't get anywhere, like haven't gotten anywhere. I felt like my life was very stagnant, and there's times when I still feel that way, but I think back then I felt like it was just life dealing me a really bad hand, and that I did not really have anything to do with it. It was like, well, there's nothing I can do. This is just how life is, and my life sucks. Like, that's how I used to think. And now I can take responsibility for the fact that, like, I had a choice, and I made the choice to not further my career in cosmetology. I made the choice to not pursue graphic design. I made the choice to not move past that relationship. I made the choice. I made all these choices, and now I had to live with them, you know? But back then I wasn't seeing that. I was just seeing that like my life sucks, and I want it to be so much different. I want it to be like these people that I watch on YouTube, or the people that are around me, or the people that I know, but it wasn't ever going to be like that, you know? And so that I would really like tear myself up with comparison, and it's so sad, like this poor girl. And it's crazy because you know how like in TV shows we see that all the time where like, women are like depressed about their birthday, and they're depressed about getting older. But I didn't think that was going to happen to me at 26, you know? And I think it's happening because I really did not meet my expectations for my life. You know, I really thought that I would be further along, not even by the world standards or by like, oh look, well, you know, this person is 26 and they're this far along, or anything. Like, not even comparing it to that, just like for me and what I used to think about my life and what I used to think my life would be like, I did not meet my expectations. Okay, so I definitely was, definitely by the world's expectations, I felt like I was behind, but also by my own expectations of, like I said, being a mom, having kids, having at least a successful relationship, having some kind of a successful career. Like, I felt like I was so behind, and, you know, in comparison to everybody else that I was seeing around me. That's like where I was getting it from. And I was thinking, like, back then, I remember now that I was thinking, like, if I knew that this is what my life was going to be like when I was a little girl, I would have been so sad. And I would have been like, oh, I don't really want to grow up now, because I just had such great expectations for when I would grow up, that like my life was going to be something amazing. My life was going to be so good. Like I was going to be like this famous singer, and I was going to be married and have kids, and I was going to have, you know, my little house, and I was going to have my car, and I was going to have this and that. And like things didn't happen the way that I wanted them to happen. And like in this video, I'm like 100% just sitting here feeling sorry for myself. And it's crazy. It's so crazy, but it's reality. It's how I used to feel, you know? But God is good. I'm torn between saying it's my fault for not making those things happen for me, for myself, or what I wanted for myself just wasn't meant for me yet, or just isn't meant for me, period. And I don't know which one it is, to be honest, right now. And I just hope that I find out, or I come to terms with the fact that that's just how things are. That has never been my strong suit. I've never been strong with saying, okay, that's just how life is, I guess, whatever. I'm always like, why can't it be different? Why can't it be different? Why can't it be different? Like, you know, that's me. And, you know, it's not good to be that way. And it just makes you very ungrateful for how good things are, because you're comparing it to what you want. And I've always been that way. Like, I've always done that, and it sucks. But sometimes, like, you just can't help but think that way.
Okay, completely different perspective on that. Now you absolutely have the option on how you're going to think about something. If you decide that everything sucks and your day sucks and your life sucks and everything is just terrible, you're choosing that. But if you choose, like, you know what, I'm going to be grateful for everything that I have, I'm going to be thankful that I have people that love me. I have things in my life. I have something. You have something. You have the breath in your lungs. You have the ability to walk. You have life. You woke up that morning. Obviously, you did, because you're thinking about what you have or what you don't have. You have life and you have a choice. Back then, I didn't know that. I felt very hopeless in my thoughts. And I felt like this is the way that I just think. This is the way I'm always going to be. I'm a negative Nelly, negative Nancy, whoever. And that's just how it is. But it's not.
I've never shied away from those feelings. Like, I'm never like one to shut down how I'm feeling. Like, I just embrace it, and I'm just like, okay, like, I'm feeling this way. Now I need to deal with it and see, okay, where do I go from here? I'm feeling this way, but now what, you know? And those feelings are a little overwhelming, and, you know, like, I'm grateful for my job, but I wish it was better. I'm grateful for my life, but I wish that it was better. I'm grateful that I can make my payments on time, but I wish that it was better. I wish I was married or was going to get married. I wish I had a family or was about to have a family. Like I want that stuff, and it just always seems like the one thing that I want is always kept from me. That's really how it feels. And I know that that's how it is for a lot of people. A lot of people feel that way. And so I know it's not just me, but like, it's so frustrating to feel that way and to think that, like, it's just not going to happen for you.
So that is definitely something that I still have struggled with in the past. Like, I'm talking like past few months of feeling like what I really want always seems so far from me. What I've come to realize is that the saying that God will not bless you at the expense of your soul is so true. If I would have been married back then, I would definitely be divorced by now. if I would have had kids back then, they would probably be being raised by my mom. If I would have had everything I ever wanted back then, I wouldn't have known how to steward it. And that's really what it comes down to. My relationship with God back then was rocky, and I was still lost in a relationship that I was in. I was still very much drowning in this man that I chose to make my everything, who did not want me. And I did that for a long time. And I thought I wanted him and a family with him and a life with him. And if I would have had that, Lord knows where I would be now. And I'm so grateful to the Lord that it did not happen, because that relationship went on for way longer than it needed to. And I'm grateful, because God always knows better. He always knows better. And I still don't have those things, and I still want them one day, but I'm working on myself to be able to make sure that when and if those things do come, I am able to steward them the way that the Lord wants me to.
Like, I've had a lot of relationship stuff that I've dealt with in this year, and even within the last few months, like with newly dating and stuff. Like, it's a lot. And you know, you meet a lot of guys that either they're just lonely and that's why they're talking to you. They don't really like you. They just want somebody around, you know. Or they just don't care. There's been 2 guys that I've actually really liked, and I was glad, you know, because I was like, great, now I can kind of, you know, like move on with my life and stop, you know, thinking about my last relationship. Like, I can just move on. And it didn't work out, you know, so it sucks. It sucks, especially when your life is the only one that isn't moving on. Like, I'll just be really honest and say that my ex has completely 100% moved on. Seems like he had been moved on since before we stopped seeing each other. And so for me to still be sitting here, like, you know, like, things still haven't changed for me. I'm still in the same spot. I'm still at the same job. I'm still in the same situation. I'm still going through the same stuff. Like, nothing has changed. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating because you just wish that things were different. And that's, you know, that's where I'm at. I just wish that things were different for me, and like different in a good way, you know.
But I also can say that back then I was not doing anything. I was not making any kind of an effort to make sure or to change what was going on. I wasn't making any kind of a conscious effort or an intentional effort to change anything going on in my life. So why did I think things were just gonna like magically get different? I don't know. I wish I could go back and tell myself so many things I wish that I could tell myself. But also at the same time, I know I wouldn't have listened.
Honestly, it has been a long time for me since I was truly happy.
Okay. This makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. I just have to say that I was not being dramatic. I was not being extra or anything. I know it sounds like I was, but I genuinely could not remember the last time I felt happy. I did not find true joy until I fully surrendered my life to the Lord. And that just happened in January 2025. I was still wrapped up in somebody else. And that every mood, everything I felt, everything I did, every decision I made was based around him. Everything. And it used to eat me up on the inside that his life was not as surrounded or consumed by me as my life was about him. And I was trying to date and like get my mind off of him, and I couldn't. I still couldn't stop thinking about him. And then I find out that he's with somebody else, not even a month after we were together. And the timeline doesn't match up, so I feel like he was with that girl before we stopped talking. And so it's so sad to see myself so lost and so broken over someone, and just like seeing how down I let myself get over someone and they were moved on with their life. I had nothing to do with them anymore. They had nothing to do with me anymore, and I couldn't let it go. And I lost all happiness in the world because I didn't have this person who literally moved on like nothing happened. And that is just how consumed I was in this past relationship. And I just, if you're going through the same thing, I know exactly where you're at. And I promise you, you can find freedom. I promise there is freedom in Jesus. He is literally the only one who could have saved me. The only one. Because I was so consumed. So consumed.
And a lot of people will say, you're so dramatic, you're so whatever, like, you need to be thankful for your life and all this stuff. And to a point, yes, I agree. You do need to, recognize your blessings and be grateful for what you have. But there's another point that's like, this is my feelings. This is what I'm feeling. And I'm allowed to feel that way, And this happens to me a lot around my birthday. It used to happen to me all the time when I was younger. And not that I was like reflecting and wishing that things were different, but just that like I get really down around my birthday. And I think it's just, I don't know, like my birthday has just always been like a really depressing time for me, and I'm not sure why. The only time it really wasn't was last year. Last year I had a really good birthday, but because I had someone that made it a really special birthday, and I'm grateful for that. But I just don't know why I can't do the same thing for myself. You know, like, why is it that unless I have someone to do that for me, I don't have a good birthday? Like, I don't know. I don't know why I do that. There's like a few things that have happened, and it's been hard to deal with it. And I just think, like, I don't know, it's just put a damper on my mood, and it is making it hard for me to want to celebrate my birthday. And I'll just be honest, there was a point the other day where I was just like, what are we even celebrating? Like, why are we celebrating my birthday? You know, like, this was not some momentous occasion. Like, it probably did more damage to the world than do good, you know? Like, I was just feeling really down.
I used to think like that a lot about my life. But thank you, Jesus, I don't feel that way anymore. And I'm very grateful that He delivered me from that.
I know that I should not say things like that, because no matter how I feel, you know, my mom waited a long time to have me, and she didn't even think that she would be able to get pregnant. And, you know, I know that it hurts her when I say things like that. So I try not to be that way, but sometimes that's just how it feels, you know. People love to tell me that they think I'm dramatic and that I'm just so negative, I'm so ungrateful, I'm so this, I'm so that, all that stuff. And I mean, I'm not gonna deny that I can have my dramatic moments, but in these times, I'm not being dramatic, I'm being honest. And I think that I really truly believe that there is a difference. When you blow things that out of proportion that are not a big deal, like, you know when you're making a bigger deal about things than they need to be. And I won't even say about things that don't matter, because different things matter to different people. But like, when someone is labeled as dramatic, like, we know when we're making a big deal about things, but a lot of the time it actually is things that really do bother us. And I think that people need to know the difference. I just think that it's really easy to say that people are being extra or being dramatic or whatever whenever they're feeling these things, like questioning their purpose in life, they're questioning why they're here on the earth, they're questioning like these things. And yes, I'm a believer in God, and I know that I have a purpose. I know that like my life has a meaning. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Now I would say that my purpose, or what I'm supposed to be doing, is the Great Commission, which is to go into all the world, preach the gospel, and make disciples. And that can mean just talking to your neighbor, talking to someone that you meet at the grocery store, whatever that is, and talking to your friends or your family who don't know God. But my relationship with the Lord was not where I am now. And that's why I was questioning my worth. I was questioning my values, questioning my purpose. And I just didn't, I wanted someone to come up to me and say, you need to do this. This is where you're supposed to be. This is your exact purpose. And that just wasn't going to happen, And I wasn't taking it to the Lord. I wasn't asking God what He wanted me to do. And now I know that, I needed to take everything to the Lord. And I had so much that I could have been working on. I had so much that I could have been doing. But I was so wrapped up in self-pity as well that I couldn't see 2 feet in front of me. And yeah, but now I know that God has great plans for me.
I get up every I get up every Tuesday through Saturday. I go to work. I do the same dang thing all day. I come home. I rest longer than I should. I'm doing my homework at 10 or 11 p.m. at night. I'm going to sleep at 1 or 2 or 3 sometimes, if we're just being honest. And then I'm off on Sunday, where I really don't do hardly anything except for get up, wait for my mom to get off of her meetings, go get something to eat, come home, get ready, go to church or whatever. And then Monday, I try to cram in everything that I've needed to do or wanted to do, and there's not enough hours in the day for me to do it and also get rest. And it's so mundane, and I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate mundane things. I hate doing the same thing every single day. I hate that. And it's okay to a point, but when nothing is different, nothing is different. I'm talking about, I even was dating for a while, and even that was getting mundane. The same dang guys. Every guy was acting the same. Every guy wanted the same thing. Every guy was doing the same thing. They all liked the same music. They all had the same favorite rapper, Drake. They all had the same favorite movies.
The funny part about that is that it absolutely seemed so true. Almost every guy that I was meeting was like, oh, what's your favorite music, or your favorite rapper or whatever? Drake. Oh, I just love him, blah blah blah. And it was every single guy had that little I don't know, that same kind of personality. But because I kept choosing the same kind of guy over and over, but I was just blaming it on the guy, being all these guys are the same, none of them are different. But I wasn't choosing anybody different. I was choosing the same kind of guy over and over again, expecting a different outcome. That's also in the Bible. That's called stupidity.
Oh my gosh. What is the reason, girl? Come on. I just want something different. I just want something different. And I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't know what I can do that's different. I don't know. I don't even know if there's anything I can do. It might just be how it is. Being 26 is not what I thought it would be. Sometimes I think whenever I start to think about that stuff, that's when I'm really is this what I'm doing with my life? This is why I'm alive, to barely make my car payments and meet all these people that just say they don't have time for me, and to be a crappy person to other people. What am I doing with my life? If I learned anything from getting to 26. And I know it's not a lot. I'm not very old. You know, I'm not even out of my 20s. But if there's anything that I've learned, it's just been that people can really walk away from you even after saying, oh, you're my best friend, you're this, you're that, blah, blah, blah. People can really walk away from you like you were absolutely nothing to them. And that has hurt me the most out of everything in life, has been when people have done that to me. And a lot of people have done that to me. But yeah, you guys, I'm sorry this was such a downer of a video, kind of. No, I'm not sorry. That's just how I feel, you know? Like, this is just how I feel about being 26. I am grateful for another year of life, but I definitely need to do something different. And I want something different, and I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna pray that things will change, and I'm gonna pray that God would lead me on what I need to do to make changes in my life, what I need to stop doing, what I need to start doing, like just different things like that, so that I can really have something different, because I'm tired, you know? I'm tired of the same thing. I'm tired of being the same person, and I just want something different. So, yeah.
Ooh, y'all. That was a trip down memory lane for sure. Funny enough, I'm sick in that video, and then I'm sick here. I have like the same little like nasally like kind of coughing thing going on, which is hilarious. Yeah, that was interesting. That was very interesting. I had this moment, I actually made a TikTok video and an Instagram video, I believe, about it, where I was looking through my old pictures, and even just my face in my old pictures is completely different than where I'm at now. I can just see the like depression on my face, and I can see the sadness on my face. Like, I can just see it. And hearing myself talk about things was crazy. Like, I knew that I said stuff like that, but I never sat and like experienced myself saying stuff like that with like a new perspective. Like, if I would have watched that back then when I was 26, like, and like would have like actually posted that, I would have just been like, oh yeah, like this is how I feel. I even said it in the video. I was like, I'm sorry, this is such a Debbie Downer. Actually, I'm not sorry, because that's how I feel. Like, okay, girl, like, calm down. It's okay. You know, yeah, that was really interesting to see. And I just want to give her a hug, because that's what she needed back then. You know, I feel like I wanted to say more, but I know that this video is already like super long. I kind of want to have like a big sister talk about like perspective and like just what I would say to myself, you know, back then, and like how I thought and everything. So go to my channel and subscribe, and maybe I'll do that. But yeah, you guys, I feel like this is more of an eye-opening video for myself more than it is for anybody else. But if you get anything from this video, just let it be that, man, God can truly turn your life around when you let him. If I would have let him change my life back then, who knows where I would be now? Who knows how different my life would be right now? But I was very stubborn, kept going back to a relationship I didn't need to be in, kept seeking when I didn't have that relationship, kept seeking other things out to try to find fulfillment, to try to find purpose, and none of it worked out for me. And you know, I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in God, and there's a lot of people that don't believe that, you know, Jesus can really change your life around, and I understand, because I feel like back then, if you would have told me, like, well, you just need to, like, surrender it to God and give it all to him, like, people did used to tell me that, and I used to be like, like, stop telling me that, like, I already know, I don't want to hear that, you know. I wanted someone to come in and, like, change my life for me. I wanted some, like, big break. I wanted some, like, you know, like, I wanted all my dreams to come true. But like I said earlier, I was not in a place to steward them. So even if I would have gotten them, they would have all been gone, because I didn't know how to steward them or take care of them. So, I mean, perspective is everything, you guys. And honestly, when you're open to change and you start making a change, big things will happen. But really, I couldn't have taken a step forward or made any kind of change without the Lord, without God. So, yeah, I hope this was an encouragement to you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.